Need tone to be honest with you today? I've spent years telling people to save, to invest, to be patient, but today I'm going to argue against myself because maybe, just maybe, the kids are right. Maybe saving is for suckers. Let's do this. Round 1. The case against traditional saving. I'm going to make the argument that financial nihilism, the movement sweeping Gen Z right now, actually makes sense. Here's the reality nobody wants to admit. You save 500 euros a month for 30 years at 7% annual return. You end up with roughly 600,000 euros at retirement. Sounds great, right? Wrong. In 30 years, with an average inflation of 3% per year, that 600,000 euros has the purchasing power of approximately 250,000 euros today. You sacrifice 30 years of your life, 30 years of experiences, travel, living, to end up with the equivalent of 250,000 euros in today's money. Meanwhile, house prices have tripled in the last 15 years. A young person earning 2,500 euros a month in Paris cannot buy an apartment. Period. The system that worked for their parents is mathematically broken for them. And here's what Gen Z figured out that older generations missed. If the expected outcome of playing by the rules is work 40 years, save dutifully, retire modestly, then why not take a shot at something different? Bitcoin went from 1 cent to $69,000. The people who put 1,000 euros into Bitcoin in 2012 are sitting on 69 million euros today. 1,000 euros. 69 million. No ETF on earth does that. No savings account. No government bond. Financial nihilism is not stupidity. It's a rational response to a broken system. Round 1. Point to the nihilists. Now, Round 2. The case for traditional saving. My counter-argument. Everything I just said is true. And it's also one of the most dangerous half-truths in finance. Here's what the financial nihilism movement conveniently forgets to mention. For every person who turned 1,000 euros into 69 million on Bitcoin, 100,000 others bought at the top and lost everything. You don't hear about them. Nobody makes a YouTube video called "I lost my life savings on crypto and now I work 2 jobs." But they exist. By the millions. Let me give you the real statistics. 90% of active traders lose money. 90%. That's not an opinion. That's data from financial regulators across Europe and the United States. On options trading platforms, the number is even worse. Studies show that 85% of retail options traders lose money within their first year. And crypto? In the 2022 crash, $2 trillion of value was wiped out in 12 months, not from hedge funds, from ordinary people who went all in. The survivorship bias in financial nihilism is catastrophic. You are comparing yourself to the lottery winner, not to the 99 people who bought the same ticket and lost. And here's the mathematical reality that nihilists ignore. You don't need to get rich overnight. You need to not be poor when you're 60. A person who saves 300 euros per month from age 25 to 65 at 7% annual return ends up with 800,000 euros. A person who loses their savings 3 times trying to get rich quick on crypto ends up with nothing. And they're 60 years old with no options. The boring strategy wins, not because it's exciting, because it works. Round 2. Point to the traditional investors. So where does that leave us? Round 3. The honest conclusion. Both sides are right, and both sides are dangerously incomplete. Here's the truth that nobody in this debate wants to say out loud. The traditional system is broken for Gen Z. That's real. Saving alone will not make you rich. That's real. But financial nihilism will make 90% of its followers broke. That's also real. The intelligent answer, the one that actually works in 2026, is a hybrid strategy. 70 to 80% of your money goes into the boring stuff. Global ETFs, government bonds, solid, diversified, long-term. This is your foundation. This is what keeps you from being 60 years old with nothing. 20 to 30% goes into your high-risk bet. Crypto, emerging markets, prediction markets, anything asymmetric where a small amount can generate a life-changing return. You are not a nihilist. You are not a dinosaur. You are a rational investor who understands both the broken system and the rules of probability. You protect yourself, and you give yourself a real shot. That is how you beat the game in 2026. Not by burning it down, not by blindly trusting it, by being smarter than both sides. If this video made you think, Smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this debate. I'm Kurt, and this is Investopia. I'll see you in the next one. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Be honest with you today.